All right, now, what's up, world? You know what I'm saying? If you're seeing this, the end, you know what I'm saying? Now, this message is for me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to sit here and listen to it while I just, you know what I'm saying, sit here and cry, you know what I'm saying? Because I know, you know what I'm saying, my grandkids miss me and my kids miss me, you know what I'm saying? But I can't go backwards, you know what I'm saying? And I can't leave my mission, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a time, you know what I'm saying, when I got the Bible out and wrote, the doctor told me to take 5 sleeping pills if I needed to, you know what I'm saying? And I said, give me 10 more, you know what I'm saying? I took 10 more over the 5 that he told me to take, you know what I'm saying? And I died, you know what I'm saying? That was after my accident and my explosion, where I watched my best friend, one of my best friends die, my coworker. After we both got burned up, you know what I'm saying? We both screamed. I heard him scream. I screamed, and I heard him scream, and I knew it was over for him, you know what I'm saying? But we met butt naked at the safety shower, you know what I'm saying? And I was helping him wipe his. I had one good hand was my right hand, and I was helping him wipe the mag chloride mixed with water out of his hair. You know what I'm saying? And we only had a few moments. You know what I'm saying? To either say anything to each other. And bystanders came. Louise Hanks showed up. You know, Roosevelt Causey showed up. All my co-workers, some of them showed up, you know what I'm saying, to see Kent for the last time, you know what I'm saying. And when they life flighted Kent, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, drove me to the hospital in Galveston, you know what I'm saying. That night they put us both in the tub, you know, when we both had, you know, skin on us, you know what I'm saying. And they wiped us both, you know what I'm saying, washed us both, you know what I'm saying. And I remember I stayed at his room, you know what I'm saying, at the door of his room, you know, till 12:30 that night, you know what I'm saying, talking to him. He was bandaged from head to toe. I was bandaged from head to toe. And you know, they put me in the tub again. And they had Ken on side of me, but I didn't recognize him because he was, you know, nothing but scab, you know what I'm saying? Head to toe, you know what I'm saying? He was nothing but scab, you know what I'm saying? And I asked him, was he gonna be all right? She said, the doctor said, the nurse said, he gonna make it, but he ain't gonna be all right. You gonna be all right. He ain't gonna be all right. And the next morning, the doctor told me he died. After Kent told me he didn't want to live like that, the doctor told me he passed away. You know what I'm saying? And the doctor said he passed away because he swallowed some of that mag chloride mixed with water. I was told to shut up and not tell nobody after I told the high C operator that was on duty that Kent died because he swallowed it. And the safety man came and told me I need to be quiet about that, don't say nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? Because the doctor just going by hearsay. The doctor wasn't going by no hearsay. The doctor went by what the doctor told me, the truth. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Kent's wife came to see him, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't see him, you know what I'm saying? But You know, Kent's wife came to see him and everything. But like I say, I'm going to listen to this. But this is about leaving when God say leave. You know what I'm saying? When God tell you it's time to leave, sometimes it's time to leave. You know what I'm saying? But you'll be leaving kids and grandkids and friends and family members behind.
I want to say, if you are having a hard time with letting go of that toxic ex, letting go of those toxic habits that are keeping you stuck, you can check out the ebook, Letting Go When God Says So. It's a step-by-step guide on how to release with grace. See, when I said that, y'all thought of that certain person. That person that you're probably going to see tonight that you know you're not supposed to be seeing. Stop playing with me. That's why you need the ebook, right? And if you want more than just a bare minimum in your life, right? Too many of us are just settling. You can also check out the audio series, Better Than Barely. I'm yapping my head off right now. I just had to say that. Just enjoy the message. Let's get it. Let's get it. Now, I might get a little animated today because I'm straight off the coffee. Let's get it. If you are seeing this is not an accident. This is not random. This is not, just another motivational video scrolling past your screen. This is a moment of truth. Because if you're seeing this, the version of you that accepted less is done. The end. Like it's done. Not almost done, not getting there.
Did you hear what he say? The person, if you that person that has accepted less, you know what I'm saying, is accepting less, you done. You know what I'm saying? If you accepting less to be approved by your family members, if you accepting less, if you loving people and they showing you no love, if you expecting less from people who you give to, you know what I'm saying? If you accepting less to be friends with or to be family of, and you accept less love, you know what I'm saying, accept they hate, you know what I'm saying, then he's saying it's over for you then. You know you're not supposed to be with them. You know you're not supposed to be around them.
Not slowly fading out. It's done. And I need you to hear this clearly because some endings don't come with fireworks or applause. Wow. Some endings come quietly, y'all know this, in exhaustion, in disappointment, right? In that deep tired that you feel in your chest where you don't even have the energy to cry anymore, you know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Think about your last relationship that went kind of bad. That's usually how it ends. Not with closure, right? But with clarity. And the clarity is this. Here's the clarity. You can't keep betraying yourself and calling it patience. You can't keep lowering your standard.
You can't keep betraying yourself or allowing other people to betray you, you know what I'm saying, and calling it patience, you know what I'm saying.
And calling it love. Let's stop it. You can't keep staying in places that drain you and saying God told you to wait when the truth is you're just afraid to walk away, right? You're afraid of what happens if you walk away. And I know that this is very uncomfortable, but endings are supposed to be uncomfortable. Like they're supposed to be uncomfortable. What you think is supposed to feel good? Because if it felt good, you would have left a long time ago. But you didn't. See, this message isn't for the version of you that's healed already. This is for the version of you that learned how to survive by accepting crumbs, right? You know you were accepting crumbs. The version of you that learned how to stay quiet to keep the peace. The version of you that learned how to overgive so you wouldn't be abandoned. That was me.
Overgive.
The version of you that convinced yourself that bare minimum was better than being alone. let me say this slowly, because I know somebody needs to hear this right here. Watch this. That version of you was not weak. That version of you was just trying to survive with the tools that it had at the time. But survival is not the same as purpose. And at some point, what saved you will start to actually suffocate you. And that's where you are right now. You're not confused. You're conflicted. Part of you knows that you've outgrown this life, these patterns, these people, this mindset. And then the other part of you is scared because growth always demands a death first, right? Something has to end for something else to begin. We must remember that. I'll say it again. Something has to end for something else to begin. And the problem is you keep asking God for a new chapter while still rereading the old one every single night. You keep on replaying those conversations. You keep on reliving what hurt you. You keep on holding on to the hope that people will suddenly become who they already shown you that they're not. And that's not faith.
See, this is what I see right here, man. It's God right here. This God, man. This God, Pops. This God, Pops. This your grandfather, man. You know what I'm saying? And one day, this is going to be available for you to see, you know what I'm saying? When you're a lot older, you know what I'm saying? When you're a lot older, this is going to be available for you to see. You and Big and Jakai and Aria and Heavenly and Harmony, you know what I'm saying? All y'all going to get to see this. You know what I'm saying? James and Rowan and Big and Pots, you going to understand. You going to understand this Uncle Pet. You know what I'm saying? Your great-grandfather, you know, Adam, your grandfather, you know, for sure, you know what I'm saying? But it was things that happened, you know what I'm saying, in this lifetime, you know what I'm saying, to Adam, you know what I'm saying, to turn him into God, you know what I'm saying? In that letter, before he took all them sleeping pills, was a letter of help, you know what I'm saying, from God, you know what I'm saying? That's why I wrote the letter from God and wrote it out the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Not for T.D. Jakes, you know, to preach a sermon on the theology of quietness, how Jesus shut up and didn't tell nobody he was who he was when they sent him to court, you know what I'm saying, sent him to Pilate, you know what I'm saying? Man, I didn't write my letter to the Dow Chemical and Phillips 66 and all the community and the Dallas lawyers to be, you know what I'm saying, marked as God, you know what I'm saying. I did it to let y'all know God real and God for real, you know what I'm saying. But that put a mark on me, you know what I'm saying. So Pots, you know what I'm saying, this is something you gonna see at a whole another age, you know what I'm saying, when they do open up and let you hear everything God has to say. Because I'm the one on trial, and this trial is forever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna never just walk off from my kids and grandkids and be happy about it, you know what I'm saying?
That's attachment. And God is not attached to what is hurting you. You are.
See, that's what I'm saying.
And that's
God
why this feels like loss. That's why this feels like loss when it's really just alignment. There are things that God won't fix because he's trying to remove them, right? You got to understand that. There are prayers that feel unanswered because the answer is no more. And the hardest part about becoming who you're called to be is realizing that the version of you that accepted less cannot come with you anymore. It can't. Because that version will always settle. We know that. That version will always explain. That version will always chase, always tolerate what cost you your...
See, That's saying you can't be no weak grandfather no more, man. You can't be no weak grandfather. That's all they're saying. You can't be no weak daddy, you know what I'm saying? You can't be no weak daddy. That version of you is gone, you know what I'm saying? That let everybody run over you and take from you and this and that. You just give because you nice, you know what I'm saying? That part over. This God, Adam, that part over. That man right, you know what I'm saying about that?
Your peace. You know it. You know it. Like y'all already know this deep in your spirit. Here's a bit of truth. Some of the pain that you're in right now isn't because of what others did to you. Like some of it. It's because of what you kept allowing after God already showed you the truth. That hurts. That hurts. It might hurt to hear that. But that doesn't make you stupid. It makes you human, right? But it does mean the grace season is ending and the accountability season is beginning. That's what it does mean. And that's love too, right? Because God loves you too much to let you stay small, my friend. He does. He loves you too much to let you keep calling dysfunction familiar. He loves you way too much to let you keep surviving when he called you to live. Like it's time for us to live. We got to be better than barely. And scripture backs this up, whether we like it or not, right? Romans 12 verses 2 says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Like really think about that, right? Notice that it doesn't say be transformed by someone else changing. It doesn't say, be transformed when they finally apologize. Mm-hmm. It doesn't say be transformed when it gets easier. It don't say that. It says by the renewing of your mind. What does that mean? Meaning this ending starts internally before it ever shows up externally. And that's why this feels so heavy, right? Because your mind is changing faster than your environment. Your spirit has already left places your body is still actually standing in. And that tension you feel, it's not confusion, it's just transition. And transitions are lonely because the old version of you can't go back and the new version of you hasn't fully arrived yet. So guess what? So you're standing in the middle. You're grieving who you were while protecting who you're becoming. And I really want to just tell you something real right now. Okay? Not everyone is going to clap for this version of you. Not everyone benefits when you stop accepting less. When you raise your standards. When you stop over-explaining. When you stop chasing, you know what I mean? When you stop proving. When you stop being accessible to people who only reach for you when they're empty. Y'all know y'all got a couple people like that. Some people will call you cold. Some people will say that you change. Some will say that you're not the same anymore. We know this. And guess what? They're right. They're right. Because the version of you that accepted disrespect and inconsistency and emotional crumbs is done. The end. And that ending is going to cost you some comfort. I promise you that. It's going to cost you some familiarity. It's going to cost you some relationships that were built on being smaller than you actually are. But hear me clearly. Losing what was draining you is not a loss. It's gain. And the reason this feels final is because it is. I always say that. You don't unsee what God has revealed. You don't unknow what you now understand. You don't go back to begging for things when you finally realize what you deserved freely. And I know a part of you wants a softer ending, right? A cleaner ending, an ending where everyone understands and nobody gets hurt. But most real endings are messy because growth doesn't wait for permission. All it does is it demands honesty. That's all it does. And honesty says this: I can't keep doing this to myself. That's what honesty says. It says, I can't keep abandoning myself to keep others comfortable. I can't keep shrinking my needs to be easier to love. And if you're seeing this, the season of, you tolerating what you pray about is over. And now let me give you one thing, okay? One action, not 10 steps, not a whole, big old checklist. Just one thing that you can do today to leave the version of you behind, okay? And this is very important. Today, not someday, right? I always say, not someday, today. I want you to write a goodbye letter. It may sound corny. Not to a person, but to me. To the version of me that accepted less. Write honestly. Write it raw. Write it without editing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Tell that version, thank you for surviving, right? Thank you for getting you through what almost broke you. But be clear and firm and say this. Say, you're no longer needed here. Bye-bye, the end. Say, you're no longer available here. Say, you're choosing differently. Say, you're done tolerating.
That's a hard thing to do, you know what I'm saying? To say goodbye to the good part of you. To say, that's like saying goodbye to God, man. That's like saying goodbye to God, man. It's saying goodbye to the person of you that let people get over on you. You let people get over on you because you had it to give then, you know what I'm saying? But you don't have it to give now, you know what I'm saying? And you just can't keep betraying yourself by trying to go back to the past to where you thought you was loved, but you wasn't really loved, you know what I'm saying? That's the letter he talking about, right? You know what I'm saying? You gotta write bye to the freely given self that you was, you know what I'm saying? You gotta write a letter of goodbye to that person that was freely given and let people get over and all of that. That was the love of you, you know what I'm saying? That was God being love, you know what I'm saying? To say goodbye to him, you know what I'm saying? I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't.
And then this is the key part, right? Read it out loud. Because endings become real when they're spoken, right? Not just thought. And then after you reread it, do one physical act that symbolizes the end. Delete the number, unfollow the account, clean the space, you know what I'm saying? Cancel the commitment, change the routine, something tangible. Because faith without action is just intention.
Faith
and today is about alignment, not
faith
intention.
Without works is dead.
And when you do that, it won't feel empowering at first. It'll feel quiet. It'll feel heavy. Maybe even sad, you know what I'm saying? But peace usually enters softly, not loudly. And then, one day you'll look back and you'll realize that this was the moment everything shifted. Not because, life got easier or anything like that, but because you finally stopped accepting less than what you were called to live. Wow, that's gonna feel great. And if you're seeing this is the end. Not of you. I'm not talking about the end of you, but of the version of you that survived when you were meant to rise, right? You are better than barely. You got this. We got this. I'm excited for us because it's the end with something, right? We must have things end for other things to begin. Wow. I'm yapping my head off, man. If you are having a hard time with letting go, you can check out the ebook, Letting Go When God Says So. It's a step-by-step guide on how to release with grace, right? And if you want more than just a bare minimum in your life, you can check out the audio series, Better Than Barely. Wow, I'm yapping, man. It's a beautiful day today. Today I ain't got the clouds going all crazy, right? I got peace going on, man. I got the Who put this small water here? I don't do the small waters, but I'm gonna do it today. I don't do the small waters. I'm yet.
Switch to TurboTax.
That was a sad one right there, because you know what I'm saying, he was telling us that you gotta let that person that betray you, you know what I'm saying, and that person that betray you is you. You know what I'm saying? When you go back to people who done you wrong and this and that there, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, haven't said I'm sorry, you know, this and that there. It ain't an apology. Apology ain't what you looking for. You looking for peace. And you looking for love, you know what I'm saying? God is love, you know what I'm saying? Why would I send God to not be loved, you know what I'm saying? Why would I send God to a place that say you not God, you know what I'm saying? Why would I send you to somebody and to tell them that they God or you God, when I know that they gonna say that you not God, and you know, God not you and they not God, you know what I'm saying? Why would I send you to a place like that, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I don't want you to be somebody, you know what I'm saying, expecting less, or thinking that you should live a life expecting less, you know what I'm saying? That ain't what God wants for you. God is an abundant life God. I didn't come to take life, and God don't take is not happy of the death of the wicked. God ain't trying to kill the devil and his demons, you know what I'm saying? God ain't here to kill, steal, and destroy like they are, you know what I'm saying? God is here to love, you know what I'm saying? And telling you God is my way of showing you love, you know what I'm saying? Telling you can go to the mirror and see who I am really is my way of showing you love, you know what I'm saying? That's my job as God. Like Jesus told you, my job is to confess your names to God and the holy angels. The only way I can confess your name to God and the holy angels is to confess your name to you, God, holy angels, Adam and Eve, and the rest of the names that Adam gave y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because Adam named all the animals. And he did give the snake a title. You know what I'm saying? For telling Eve, you know, what he told Eve. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry about that. You know what I'm saying? But the mission got to go on. And like I say, my job to confess y'all names to God and the holy angels. And the only way to do that is to tell you, I am God in your mirror. You know what I'm saying?